2 in the morning. 98 people were still inside when the building decided it was finished waiting. This is the same building. Nothing about it looked wrong from the outside. That's the part investigators kept circling back to.
There's a report. There's always a report. This one was filed 3 years before anyone needed it. Not a leak, not a whistleblower. A routine inspection. Filed, read, and shelved.
People sunbathed on the exact slab that was already losing its fight with gravity. They had no way of knowing that. Surfside, a quiet stretch of Florida coastline. The kind of place people move to so nothing happens. 12 stories, 3 sections, built in 1981. 40 years old on the night it fell. Not old for concrete. It didn't just fall. Investigators found the sequence started somewhere specific, weeks before anyone noticed. Within hours, a federal team was on a plane. This kind of collapse gets its own investigators. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, the same agency that investigates why buildings that shouldn't fall, fall. This is the crack map. Every mark is a documented crack, sourced from photographs and maintenance records going back years. Walk under any coastal parking garage and you'll see water stains like this. Almost none of them mean what these did. People had lived here for decades. Retirees, young families. A building is never just a structure to the people inside it. 2 reports, 8 years apart. Same building, same slab. Nobody had put them side by side until this investigation did. Everything from here is what the mechanism was actually doing underneath the sunbathers for years. Case file open. Subject, 1 connection, and the 8 years before it failed. October 2018. A structural engineer inspects the building for its mandatory 40-year recertification. He finds damage. Spalling means the concrete is losing its grip on the steel inside it. Exposed rebar, water getting where it shouldn't. This is what the 2018 inspection actually found. Not hairline cosmetic cracks, structural deterioration, already advanced. NIST examined 24 possible causes. Sinkholes, construction vibration nearby, a hurricane surge that never came. No sinkhole, no underground void. The ground held. NIST checked 5 years of satellite data and found no sinking at all. No hurricane, no storm surge. The weather that night was unremarkable. Whatever this was, it had been building for years, not hours. What NIST kept coming back to was smaller, quieter, and far more specific. 2 connections in 1 corner of the garage. This kind of connection carries an entire slab's weight through a single point. It was never meant to be the weak link. To understand exactly how it failed, investigators built it again, full scale, and broke it on purpose. The mechanism has a name: punching shear. The column punches straight through the slab, like a fist through wet cardboard. This is what a punching shear failure looks like from the inside. It happens in under a second. It took years to arrive. The design itself had margin built in. What NIST found was that the building as built didn't match the drawings. Fewer reinforcing bars actually crossed the column than the design called for. On paper, this connection was already thinner. Some sections of that slab carried less than half the strength the code required. Not a small margin, less than half. Understrength isn't the same as failing immediately. It means every ordinary day is spent closer to the edge than it should be. Add water. The garage flooded regularly. Ponding water around the columns did what ponding water always does to steel. This is what 4 decades of intermittent flooding does to embedded steel. It doesn't get weaker gradually. It gets weaker and stays hidden. 3 separate weaknesses. 1 shared address. That's not bad luck. That's how compound failure actually works. 3 separate weaknesses. 1 shared address. That's not bad luck. That's how compound failure actually works. Every mechanism eventually stops being theoretical. For this one, that moment arrived in early June 2021. 2 connections failed first, quietly, underground. Nothing above ground changed. The slab simply found somewhere else to send the load. Neighboring sections picked up the slack. They were never designed to carry someone else's failure, but for weeks, they did. The failure spread, pool deck, then the street-level parking slab, before it ever reached the tower itself. The tower shared a structural seam with the parking deck. Whatever happened underground was never going to stay underground. That's the mechanism, not a single moment, a chain. Each link individually survivable, together, not. The mechanism explains how. It doesn't explain why nobody stopped it in time. Go. Nothing above ground looked different. 3 weeks. Each remaining connection absorbing a little more of a load it was never sized to carry alone. June 24th, an ordinary evening. Nobody in the building had any way to know the countdown had already reached its final hours. By 1 a.m., the remaining connections had absorbed all the load they had left to give. The margin, such as it was, ran out. The pool deck went first, then the parking structure beneath it. Then the load reached the one place it had nowhere else to go. This is the reconstruction, built from the physical evidence. Pool deck, parking structure, then the tower's own southern line. Behind doors like this one, people were asleep. The file doesn't need to show what happened next. The record already does. At 1:30 a.m., 98 lives ended with the structure that had carried them for 40 years. By morning, the file this video is built on had already begun. The investigation started before the dust settled. The decision trail is documented, dated, and closed. The building's part in this story ended that morning. The lot is empty now. The question the file leaves open isn't about this building. It's about the next one. Case File, Part 3. What the record changed and what it didn't. If you live in a coastal condo built before the mid-1990s, this file is quietly about your building too. Florida passed a new law after this collapse. Mandatory structural inspections, mandatory reserve funding, no more shelving reports. Boards can no longer vote to underfund reserves and defer a known structural finding indefinitely. That option is gone now. Thousands of older buildings are now under this requirement. One collapse rewrote the maintenance math for an entire state. Here's what you now understand permanently. A structure doesn't need one dramatic failure. It needs 3 small, survivable ones. Somewhere right now, an inspector is checking a ceiling like this one because of a file that started with 98 names. This building's file is closed. Nobody knows how many others are carrying the same 3 weaknesses, unread, right now. It won't announce itself with a crack you'd notice. It never does, until someone photographs it and files it away. This file didn't find a villain. It found a gap between what was known and what got done about it in time. Somewhere, there's a report like the 2018 one, filed and waiting. The only open question is whether anyone reads it in time. That's the file. Not a warning, a record for whoever reads it next. The investigation is closed. The building is gone. The risk it was built on top of is not unique to it. A closed investigation, not a closed risk. The file is never fully closed. It's just where we stopped reading.